I am Ruth the Truth Torres, and I am proud to represent the Democratic Party for U.S. Congress, Texas District 5. I am grateful for all of you that are here today, united for a common cause, to fight for the people of District 5, the great state of Texas, and our entire country. Because it is no longer normal to have policy differences to work through with mutual respect and compromise. In 2024, democracy is on the ballot. It is for democracy that I rise to fight. Like you, I can no longer tolerate the dysfunction in our government. I don't claim to have all the answers, but I promise to ask very good questions, to listen and use my skills as a strategic problem solver and change agent, to fight for our mutual goals, to provide for our families, our safety, and our future. I'm a mother, grandmother, former business professor, and businesswoman. My operating system is my faith that believes in the true spirit and message of Jesus Christ, which is the same for many faiths and those who have no religious affiliation, to love and accept people, to give justice and protect our most vulnerable. I am a multiracial woman, and my blood is poison against the great hypocrisy of Christian nationalism, using deformed, weaponized religion to justify denying rights to control, rob, judge, marginalize, disrespect, and promote hate. Dehumanizing people made in the image of God to be called illegal animals. It is greed, desperation to hold on to power, and Hispanic fear that has created instability and division that forces our democracy's greatest test since the Civil War. The purpose and roles of government and the church are very different and must be kept separate. The role of our government is defined in our Constitution to pursue a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure stability and peace, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and all of our children. For nearly 15 years, Texas has been my home, where I have realized the extent greed and fear has enabled abuse and corruption that demands each of us to shake off a lifetime of conditioning. We must no longer accept being robbed of our power. We know we can make change happen by acting in love for people, in faith, knowing our prayers have been answered. Our prayers have been granted, so we no longer accept token accommodations or being trickled down upon. I implore all that love our country, will you rise in unity to protect it, to vote out all involved in the January 6th insurrection, those who betray their oath to defend our Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. What should we call anyone who threatens a bloodbath if they don't get elected, and plans a bloodbath if they do? I call that person and everyone that helps them enemy. Will we allow traitors to hold power at our highest levels of government to destroy democracy, weaken our nation, enable our enemies, and instigate World War III? The Supreme Court has ruled only Congress can disqualify federal candidates from office. That means Democrats must have the White House and both the Senate and House of Congress, because insurrectionists won't disqualify themselves. Let's realize we now have an axe at every branch of our government. We must act now to protect our democracy and bring the policy changes we need. We must rise not in violence for party or person, but to vote in allegiance to humanity, our country, and our children. How long will we allow those with no concept of honor or service, no respect for those who have served in our military, to hijack the narratives and redefine the meaning of patriot? How long will we allow those who manipulate with lies, refusing truth or facts, to hold leadership positions? Isn't it time we vote to stop lies and race-based fear that divides us, leaving us sicker and poorer while making the few richer to control all of us? Isn't it time to reclaim the hope and promise of the American dream? Will you rise in unity to stop gerrymandering that silences our vote marginalized? Our food prices soaring from being monopolized. Our homes turned into hotels, commercialized. While medical care costs more and is farther away, and women are dying because it is illegal to make decisions for our own bodies. While our public school system is dismantled for public land grabs and to rob our children of their education, creating cycles of poverty and increasing crime, so our children are set up to be institutionalized. While gun industry profits are protected and we run for our lives. Dallas Cowboys and Mavericks fans, tell me, isn't offense the best defense? Isn't it time for an interception? Time to stop observing on the sidelines and take the field with our vote? Will we continue to wait for an invitation to sit at the table, or will we stand to take action right now? We must warn all of the great dangers if they don't vote, or of a third party that would split the vote. No one should regret their vote or failure to vote on November 6th. We must connect with our disenfranchised, confused, and uninformed voters to speak to their fears, to navigate the false narratives, and motivate them to act in power, love, and with a sound mind by speaking truth on the issues that matter to them, which is different based on every audience. But there is commonality for women's rights, living wages, affordable housing and health care, education, and immigration reform. We must show the clear policy differences so that people vote Democrat in this ballot, up and down the ballot, regardless of their normal party affiliation. I want to work with you to develop talking points and facts to help you, as well as short videos you can share on the most polarizing issues from the opposing perspective, speaking their language, confronting hypocrisy with truth spoken in love. If not now, when? What else has to happen? Will we wait until Hitler's playbook used in Russia, Israel, and Gaza turns a page? Until American lives are merely collateral damage for those who want to stay in power? Until Holocaust 2.0 begins? We have SB4, Show Me Your Papers, to terrorize. Do you think our state government spending hundreds of millions in taxpayer dollars for buses is just for political theater and campaign kickback? Haven't we already been told, Agenda 47, that if the former president is reelected, the greatest deportation in history will begin Inauguration Day? Will we wait for buses to leave orphans from families ripped apart to go to work camps? What do you think that instability is going to have on our businesses, our economy? Haven't we already been told the only reason our state government isn't shooting migrants is because the Biden administration would press charges? Wouldn't the prior administration applaud it? Will we wait for our brothers and sisters who are migrants, LGBTQ, or anyone and everyone they deem unworthy is murdered or retaliated against because they don't like what we have to say? Will we wait for them to deploy a SEAL team to kill those who dare to run for office against them? Will we wait until our vote really doesn't count because we will be under dictatorship? On immigration, doesn't the Bible have dozens of scriptures on caring for foreigners, to love them as ourselves, like Leviticus 19:33? Weren't Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob immigrants doing exactly what God told them to? Weren't Mary, Joseph, and baby Jesus asylum seekers? Shouldn't all that claim humanity be condemning the government's facilitation of bloodshed, preferring people die than exercise the right to apply for safety afforded by our Constitution? Isn't all discrimination a complaint not against the person, but our mutual creator? Shouldn't those most terrified of the majority-minority population be leading diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI policies, because their children and grandchildren will soon be subject to the very policies they are now implementing? Therefore, will you rise in unity to vote for immigration reform, for humane, efficient processes that stop mass surges at the border, protects us, allows workers at the level and where our businesses need them with immediate work permits instead of benefits Americans aren't eligible for? That fuels our economy. Plus, folks are working on the record for living wages and paying taxes, which funds Social Security, protecting our senior citizens. Will you rise in unity to mobilize the vote, to shore up the purpose and integrity of every branch of our government, preventing it from being chopped down and sold to the highest bidder? To stop the 1% from buying seats for Judas politicians elected to protect us, but instead are selling the 99% of us out for their own profit? Will you rise in unity to mobilize the vote for what District 5 deserves? The people of every race, every political party, every socioeconomic status in large cities and tiny towns, because everyone is equally important. Let those who intend to hurt us, to control us, make them see us. Make them hear us with our vote. Ladies, let's demonstrate we know our place. United, we will protect democracy and our national security. United, our vote builds the future we deserve, where every voice is heard, every person is valued, and every vote counts. I ask you to help work every precinct, every block, for an accountable government by the people, for the people of District 5, for Texas, and for a United States of America. To vote like our country and our very lives and that of our children depend on it, because it does. United, our vote has already won. I am Ruth the Truth Torres for U.S. Congress, Texas District 5, and I approve of this message.